the North Hudson Public Works Utility Committee meeting of Tuesday, July 19, 2022 at 5:30 PM. Call to order, roll call, please.
Chair Pike.
Here.
Trustee Vergren.
Here.
Trustee Merrill.
Here.
Item number 2, I need a motion to approve minutes.
I move to approve the minutes from the June 29th meeting.
21st.
Whoops, can't read.
I second that motion.
All right. Any additions, subtractions, corrections for the minutes? They look good to me. If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass. Item 3, comments from the floor. No comments from the floor. Item number 4, village infrastructure comprehensive plan CIP discussion only. Patrick.
This is, yeah, I guess we've got some stuff in your packet. I handed you out a few things. I know we've been discussed about a comprehensive plan, in discussing with Kevin, and I called a few smaller communities about our size, a little bit bigger around. Nobody really has that. That's more of a big metropolitan area that puts together a comprehensive plan where you can't really keep track of things. I think we do okay, but I just wanted to show you the information that, like the bigger sheets that's got the streets. I mean, it tells you what year, the lengths, what the surface is, the surface rating. So that's all on the Whistler website. And then Kevin has, where we passed out, Kevin put the Whistler map together, the updated one. I'm sure we'll have another one this year. And I also gave you guys copies, just kind of screenshots of our water, sewer, storm sewer maps. So you all should have, I took one snapshot by each of your houses, so you should feel good that you've got water and sewer and storm sewer by your homes. But this, I can't really show you. I guess if you want to come in and I can go through that with you. This is actually pretty nice. Like the hydrants or the valves, whatever's on here, you can click on that and then it comes up. There's a box in there for when we service it, when it's flushed, valves when the maintenance is done, if they're replaced or not, what year they were put in, usually how deep they are, things like that. And sanitary sewer basically would be your manholes, where they're at, how deep they are. That's the kind of information that we're gathering right now. That I should say, not we, but Jessica is gathering right now.
So this is all in our GIS system and viewable online? For you at least?
Well, for us,
Yeah.
yeah, for Cedar Corp and the 3 people that work here and Jessica.
I've seen one of these before, and the information that he's talking about that's underneath the hood is really cool.
It looks cool now that I'm getting that those red things are hydrants. Okay.
I thought that was somebody waving.
So I'm wondering if either you or Kevin could, maybe next meeting, show us, on the screen.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yep.
It's really worth seeing once what these guys can put on that thing.
Oh,
And
yeah,
Jessica.
I'd love to see it. Absolutely.
So what are the other little symbols that are on here so that, because I know the public can see this because you posted it up with the meeting minutes, so it's all up on the calendar. So you said the blue lines are the water,
Yep.
the water mains, the hydrants are the red crosses.
The red, yeah, yep.
And then what are those other little things that look like a turn valve?
Those are the gate valves.
What?
For the mains. They're gate valves
For the mains?
for the water mains.
Valves. And what's the green?
The green is the sanitary sewer.
Oh, nice. And the red?
The red would be the storm sewer.
Yellow?
Yellow.
Up on Cratley Lane, there's a yellow
Oh, that's.
That might be the force
That's
main
a force main.
force
yeah.
main? Okay.
stations.
Yep.
So we've got one, a force main down on Wisconsin as well, right?
Yep.
What's
I
a
just-
force main?
Nobody lives down there, so I didn't get a snapshot of that one.
Okay.
Force main is from where the lift station is, it'll be a force main, usually about a block or so. It'll go to a manhole, so it basically ends up having to push it uphill, and then it gravity feeds from there.
So like the bottom map, Mary, there's a force main running from lower on Riverside Drive,
Oh, it's long.
pushing, it has to push up a hill there.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
one's
they
actually a
can be.
pretty good push.
Of a distance.
That's why those are the biggest pumps. we
Patrick,
have.
when it stops at a little green spot there, does that mean you've pushed it uphill and now it can go basically
Yeah, that's where it
Okay.
will start gravity feeding.
gravity feeding? Okay. And so on this bottom map, this green, is that where the line goes over under the Malibu?
Tell me where, show me where you're at.
Right here? This is Riverside? And I was looking
That's
at that.
green is sanitary.
Oh, that's sanitary
So
sewer.
that, it's not showing, but it dead ends.
Oh, it dead ends down there.
So basically it wouldn't dead end, it would start here and then it would go. that
Oh,
way
I gotcha.
Toward that lift station and then get pushed that way.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, I think getting a demo on the, future agenda item list would be great.
And what are the eyes? They look like red eyes in a circle, or white eyes in a red circle. They look like a different shape than the hydrants. Kind of like balloons with an eye in them.
Almost like an information thing.
Yeah, information.
Oh, yes, that's just some type of information. I didn't
Oh.
I didn't click on any of those.
So there's
But I would
more
say-
data underneath
So
it.
if you push, if you click on that, that would give you your age, all the information that I talked about.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why a demo would be helpful. It's pretty cool. Is this information anywhere but on your stuff? It's not
What do you
shared
mean?
out?
I don't share that.
No, we don't share that
County
stuff.
doesn't have this.
No, not yet.
No.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions on village infrastructure, comprehensive CIP? Well, the CIP plan, we haven't
let's
really
look at it.
discussed that yet. So you've got a page, 2 pages actually, that look like this.
And this is something that we typically look at towards budgeting, towards the late summer, fall. And this is from last year, so obviously we're 2022, we're doing the Wisconsin Street project. The St. Croix Street project has been moved up. We're doing that this year. So that's in 2022. 2024 is at Fifth Street, that's a resurfacing. The village does have some LRIP funds with that project as well. That one's about $22,000. And the sunset date on that is June 30th of 2025. So you'd have to,
So we're doing that one early, wait, are you talking St. Croix or Fifth Street?
St. Croix Street.
Okay, so we're doing St. Croix a little bit early, but it gives us enough time to get it done and build out and everything.
Right.
Okay,
So Fifth Street, yeah, the resurfacing project, LRIP funds. Monroe Street, that's the one we applied for that BIL funding.
okay.
Supposed to be here in sometime in July, August. The
Yeah.
awards on those.
Okay.
And then Yellowhead Road, that's one that's been sitting out there. Hopefully we could find maybe a grant to apply some dollars towards that project. That one we're looking at, curb and gutter, storm sewer, trying to improve that area. There's a lot of pedestrians that walk through there. So
We've
maybe,
had some issues with stormwater down there.
yeah. And that's on that second page on the bottom. Gives you an idea of, basically the reasoning for the projects. Summary. Whether it's, the age of the utilities or the asphalt surface, Riverside Drive, there's the retaining wall down there. I think everybody's aware we're monitoring that. The caps with the salt over the years have deteriorated those. Something we're monitoring, Patrick and myself, on a yearly basis.
We're not salting it anymore. We got a new truck, so when you're going uphill and the retaining wall is sitting over here, as we would go uphill, the old truck had a spinner that would speed up and throw it a lot farther. So that's how the salt was getting there. I don't think we're hitting it with salt anymore, right?
I hope not.
That's
No,
that's
no, we're
gonna
not.
be a very, did we ever estimate that project?
Yeah, so we have on that second page, scoping estimates. So for that, it was about 300,000 to redo the walls.
Retaining wall, 288, yeah, okay.
Yep.
So that's a big one,
That's a big one.
but
Yeah.
if we lose that wall, it's gonna be messy down there.
Yeah.
The house is just gonna slide right down.
Well, I don't know that the houses would slide down. Is there actually a house?
Well, not right away.
Does it take a day or two? So we're all I'm saying is I've asked them, and we have been for the last several years, keeping an eye on that retaining wall. There were other smaller retaining walls in the area that fell apart on the other side of the road.
Yeah, like going up Helen Street
Yeah.
on the right.
Well, the ones that we saw were right on Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Little ones.
Yeah, oh, I'm well aware of those. See them
Yeah,
every
and
day.
to be honest, I don't know that anything would slide away, any homes.
It seemed to me like the homes were back enough from the wall.
Yeah, I think
As I recall.
I think we'd be safe. Not that that would ever happen, so
Yeah.
we shouldn't mention that again.
Right, right. Somebody should knock on wood right now.
All right, any other questions for these guys on the infrastructure comprehensive plan?
So this looks like pretty much what we were looking at the end of last year, so there's nothing new that we need to add on to here.
Well, we'll do that at budget time.
Which
we have any
part are you
On the
looking at?
the project
Oh.
list, looks like this, I mean, it's a 5-year list, right? 22,
Yeah.
4-year list.
Yep.
And we're knocking off 1, 2, 3 of these this year, so based on pacer ratings and things, come budget time, are you guys gonna add to the CIP?
Yeah, we will.
Yep. We'll look at it.
Well, it's
Okay.
what do you want to call, a moving,
It's a living, breathing
living
document.
document, yeah.
You know, we haven't got it going yet, the ad hoc committee, but once that thing gets going, there's gonna have to be some funds. Did you, never mind. But once that sewer project gets going, or starting to get discussed, there might be some needs there. That would be capital needs. To the tune of a lot of money, I'm hearing. All right, anything else?
No, there's good stuff right here.
Like I said, if you guys want to, or, yeah, I guess we'll do a demo or
Yeah.
something within the next couple meetings here, and
Yep.
Yeah, it'd be great to show them the info that's under there. I think that's cool stuff.
So is the lift station on one of the street projects here?
No,
That is not.
we have a,
Nope.
did we buy that panel? Yeah. Is that in our budget for this year?
nope,
The panel for Little Riverside?
nope.
Okay. I thought we had discussed getting that this year,
We did.
and it
It was
got,
discussed about ARPA funding, and then I'm not sure where
oh,
that's at yet.
so if we get it, it might be something that comes out of our funding.
We'd have to prioritize that and send that in on our ARPA list, isn't that what we're each,
It's on the ARPA list, I think, isn't it?
It is, but
Yeah,
I think,
that's why it's not on the budget. And the reason that that was one of the things that was on the list, as you recall, is when they first told us what we could spend ARPA on, it was pretty much infrastructure. So we thought, okay, well, that's a great place to put this. All right. Item number 5, chair update. I don't have anything. Item number 6, our engineer has returned. Engineer
Yes.
report, please.
All right. So recently I've been working with A1 Excavating. We're trying to close out last year's project. final quantities. So,
The 35 project?
yeah, yeah. So there's gonna be some give and take on that to, get the numbers all finalized out. It is, from what I'm seeing, from what was paid last year compared to what they're looking at for their quantities, there's some bigger differences. So once we do finalize it out, there'll probably be a pretty substantial request put in for that.
I'm not sure what you mean, Kevin.
So from where it was left, the last pay app as of last year, compared to where we're trying to finalize the numbers, there's some bigger discrepancies from what they were paid to what A1's requesting for pay app items. That's where, we got to look at our as-built information, see what they're trying to request for numbers, and then basically agree upon what the final is.
You're saying A1 is asking us for more money because we asked for more work than
No.
was originally planned, or?
It's just basically, how many actually curb stops you put in, what the linear foot of 8-inch main, how many hydrants, how many gate valves, how much 4-inch PVC piping for the laterals. We've got to look at all of our as-built information from our inspector out there and then basically finalize the numbers.
Okay.
Whose favor is this going in when you say there's discrepancies?
Well, it's just, for some reason, last year's, the last pay app, doesn't look like it was up to close to where the final quantities were. So now we're working towards that.
Okay.
So we didn't pay them the quantities that they used when you say,
They weren't up to date, I guess, from what the last pay app was. And that was last fall that it was done.
So
They
Howard-
weren't up to date?
Correct.
Oh,
who wasn't up to date?
they weren't. They
The
didn't.
pay apps wasn't up. I mean, we're not, the DOT is actually doing all the pay applications. So we have to work with them to get the numbers finalized.
Okay.
So,
Then once we know what the numbers are, we know what the dollars are.
right.
Okay,
This will be the final pay app.
okay.
And all the numbers we finalize, there won't be any retainage withheld. All the punch list items will be addressed. But just so you're aware, there is going to be one more.
Have they addressed any of the punch list items?
Mm-hmm.
How close are we on the punch list items?
I think there's only the curb stop left.
That's it? Wow,
so.
nice.
I've seen them out there working at night.
As big as that project was, to only have one more punch list
Yeah.
item, that's pretty good.
So there's not a risk that this is going outside of the budget, if there's anything, this is just, you're just settling up at the end, essentially.
And then once we have those numbers, then we'll produce that final special assessment report. And
Okay.
then we'll bring that to the village
Oh,
board.
okay, got it.
Yep.
So this impacts the special assessment for the residents.
Correct. Yep.
Final bill to us affects them, basically.
Yeah. The other thing, just to let you know, we did send out the notice award to Monarch.
For St. Croix?
Yep.
Okay.
So that's in the works, trying to get the contracts all in place and executed. And then, just to let you know, we haven't heard anything on that BIL application yet for Monroe Street. They're saying July, August is when that notification will come out, so just.
And we didn't, other than that, we don't have any other grant information we're looking for this year.
Correct.
So are we doing grants for next year?
If there is something that comes out, whether it's LRIP or another BIL
We
app.
wait till they basically say, okay, we're gonna be taking grant applications?
Yep.
Okay. It'd be nice to get one for Galahad. Which would be the best thing to get for Galahad? Would it be an LRIP or?
LRIPs typically, those are, the regular ones, $15,000-$20,000.
Smaller? of the-
Yep.
What are the bigger ones called?
Discretionary,
Okay.
those got to be at least 250,000.
Ouch.
And there's a committee that meets and they select one or two projects for the whole county and then they send it down to the state. And then there's a selection committee down there, but you're up against
Yeah.
All your neighbors.
Right. So it's definitely more competitive, but, I mean, we have been able to get some funding for other communities with that.
It'd be interesting, I mean, what do you think the retaining wall, the status of the retaining wall's okay right now, but in a few more years, is that the kind of funding we should be going after for, or do they even do retaining walls in that kind of a grant?
Typically, I don't usually see a lot with the retaining walls. It's more of like, you know, safety issues, whether you want to have like a pedestrian sidewalk off to the side with curb and gutter, so you got like a barrier.
Okay.
I mean, Galahad Road, I mean, everybody knows people are just walking in
Oh,
the
yeah.
street. So safety usually scores fairly well.
So it might be better for a Galahad type project?
Yeah.
Have we ever estimated the Galahad project?
I think we had that on.
920,000?
Yes.
Oh, well, that would be a good project to put on.
Right. One of your bigger ones by all
All right.
means.
Well, if you guys get that opportunity, let's
Yep.
try and go after that for, I guess it'd be 5 years after, right? Up to 5 years, if we ever get the grant. So the
Yeah.
grant wouldn't come to us till sometime when? We'd be informed that we got the grant sometime
Right.
in 2023?
Like this one for the Monroe Street, if you were awarded it, I mean, it would be this year, and then there's a SMA agreement. I think you guys are accustomed to that verbiage, but from there, typically it's like a 5-year window that you have
To get it done,
to get it done. Yep.
and the billing?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
all right, well, great, I hope we can get that for Galahad.
Yeah, we always definitely keep an eye on, you know, whether it's STP, urban, or BIL, or
Okay.
LRIP,
What is BIL again?
bipartisan
Bipartisan?
infrastructure law.
Bipartisan infrastructure law?
Yeah.
Huh.
So would that include the retaining wall? I mean, what kind of grant, because everything has been really street-focused, but that retaining wall is not obviously street-focused.
No.
So what, is that a different category of grants? I know the park was looking at a retaining wall grant
It
for,
was a, yeah.
Park.
Park,
Browns Beach.
yeah, Browns Beach,
Yeah.
they did a request for money to fix that retaining wall.
Right.
Who was that? But that was more related to parks,
That's a DNR grant.
DNR
Oh.
grant, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's tied into,
DNR's
you
not
got the-
likely to give us a grant for that big retaining wall, are they?
probably not.
It's pretty close. I mean, if that fell down, would that not be sediment into Malilu?
It could potentially, yeah. I
God,
mean,
Let's think about this.
right. Storm sewer, that, yeah, conduit right out to the lake.
So I know there's a bunch of eagles nests. Maybe we could move a few eagles nests over along that retaining wall. DNR, they're not gonna want their eagles to fall in the lake.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, that one's a tough one for a grant.
The retaining wall, you mean?
Yeah.
I'm guessing that one may end up being a loan.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, you can't have sediment all over the place.
I guess if you want to reach out to, should we have a reach out to Corey and ask him about a DNR grant for that retaining wall?
Well, he wouldn't have anything to do with that.
Well, you should find out who, were you guys helping them with the DNR grant for the Browns Beach?
Yeah, we submitted
Thought you
that
guys did, yeah.
May, I think it was the deadline, and gosh, we'd hope we'd hear something here shortly,
Okay.
so.
Well, maybe we could reach out to them again, but after they get back to us on this first retaining wall. We don't want to get greedy. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Update on the Wisconsin Street project. Either one of you.
Oh, everything's, I think they were adjusting inlets, storm sewer inlets and manholes, sanitary sewer manholes, are adjusting them up today. And then the last that I had heard is that they'll be coming in Monday, most likely Monday or Tuesday, to set stakes and pour curb and gutter. And then the sidewalk crew will come in right after that. So that's the last update that I got on that.
So, okay, I thought they were coming in early this week to do, did they run
That's what
in,
I thought as well.
did they run into, are they running into any concrete issues getting concrete?
I don't know about that, but it's not,
so.
I think that whole, whatever time in there, that kind of threw everyone's schedule off because
Yeah.
it was, the job had been planned out and then that kind of,
Yeah.
you can't expect someone to wait around.
Excel. Cost us about 2 weeks. And then they went off and did other things, and so, yeah, that definitely slowed that project down. But apparently necessary. Okay, anything else for our engineer? All right, item 7, director report and project updates.
So, yeah, I don't have a whole terrible lot. I guess we've been finished painting crosswalk lines and all that, so that stuff's done. I think we're gonna start working on yellow curbs now. And as far as project updates, the St. Croix Street, I had, Everlast Rehab, I called them and they came in and I'm gonna have, whatever needs to be rebuilt for storm sewer catch basins on that stretch, have that done, and then just have everything flex sealed before that project comes in. We also had a couple gate valves for water main put in right at the intersection of 4th and St. Croix. There wasn't any gate valves in that section, so when we connected down on Wisconsin Street, I had to shut 2 blocks of people off from water. So
So we're correcting that.
we're correct.
Okay.
It's corrected.
Wow.
And
Is that within the budget, Patrick?
it was outside of the project. It's a separate, so it would just come out of our water,
Maintenance.
our fund. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess other than that, unless you have any questions, I don't have a whole lot.
Did you say you were doing some street patching out there?
Yep, St. Croix County has been coming back in when they can. We did I guess we did the seal coating. Mary probably knows all about that.
I've got it in my shoes.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I saw a little work was done down on 4th. Was that them?
yeah, that's a spray patch,
Spray patching?
St. Croix County, yep.
Okay. I never saw him, but there it was.
Yeah, he came in last Friday and got some bad spots for me, so,
Good.
yeah.
Any other questions for our
A couple
director?
things, yeah, from our minutes from last time. Did you were gonna try again to get an updated deficiency list for the water?
No, I haven't received anything yet. I'll put that on the top of my get on it list.
And then talk to Nathan about the stormwater rates to see if they were covering the costs.
Well, I talked to him. I don't know that there's a way to figure that out.
I talked to him too, and the money is coming in, the increase did go in. The money is coming in, but he says, based on, he needs about a year of that to
Oh,
see,
okay.
really what that's
To
doing.
evaluate it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
At
it
the
is coming in.
increased rate to,
Yes,
okay,
to see if that was enough of an increase.
okay. And then the meter to monitor the flow of the sewage out of the Riverside lift station, and if Hudson was going to pay for that, or how that was going to be managed to try and get the data.
Yeah, no, I would imagine Hudson's not going to pay for that. I'll have to. I'll have one of our folks, one of our sanitary sewer contractors, come out, and I'll just see what we can put together. I be honest with you, I kind of forgot about that one, and see, because we'll have to put some type of. There'll probably have to be more than one meter put in. And I know with technology and stuff now, it's probably you should be able to read the meter from up above ground.
Oh, wouldn't that be good?
So,
Yeah.
I'll do some more investigating on that.
And then would that come out of, that would come out of an existing account that we have?
Depends on how much.
Yeah, it would have to come out of our sanitary sewer fund.
No idea what that would cost.
Well, so, yeah, let him get the quote,
Yeah.
and then once he gets the quote,
Okay.
he'll obviously be talking to Melissa
Yep.
about how we fund this, and then we'll know where it's coming from. Anything else for Patrick? Okay. That takes us to item 8, Public Works Capital Equipment, Current and Future Budgeting, discussion only. So we've got 2 sheets. One of these, so Patrick keeps track of both, he keeps track of stuff for the village hall, so that's one of them. And I don't really think we need to go over that, because that has nothing to do with us.
So it doesn't fall under the facility part of it, doesn't?
No,
So it goes under which,
this is administrative.
so it goes to which committee?
It hits finance. Finance committee would make recommendations on these items,
Yep.
and those recommendations or requests would be coming from the administrator.
Okay.
I guess I thought it was all Public Works, that's why
This?
I wouldn't even give it to you then.
This one? Repair and replace, or duct cleaning in here? I don't think that's Public Works.
Okay.
Why don't you?
Then ignore it.
Why don't you do me a favor and go over it, because there is 1 or 2 on here that might be us. Like the repair and replace sidewalk sections in need, that might be us. But go over the list with her and say which of these are yours and which of these are ours, so we can get them on
Sure.
the right budget, please.
And the other buildings that we have are not, there's no items like for the other public works buildings or anything like that. Those are all not having any,
I think I have, there's just a couple things I've got on the non-capital items on the
oh,
second sheet.
I see.
The chain link
Okay, let's
fence.
go over that then.
Pallet racking, yeah, those things are us. So any questions about what he has on his list? We asked him for the list, and
Yep.
here it is, and this is a living document as well, just like the CIP. And so what he's wanting to budget for 2023 is up there. We're gonna be a little short with our car fund, and that includes even with the funds that we got from selling the previous truck to be able to get that snowplow we need for the 4,500 that we just bought. So he's gonna talk with Melissa about the best way to fund getting that. And I'm thinking we're gonna look at 2 options, using what we have in our car fund, our truck fund, and then asking for, some other fund to cover the remainder, or ask them to use the other fund to cover the whole thing instead of taking it out of our truck fund. So he'll come back next meeting or closer to budget time, which way we're gonna go. But we do wanna get that plow before we need it, as close to when we need it as we can for that truck.
So the generator, number 2 on the list, the portable generator, is that the one for the sewer? And that's also on the ARPA potential list, but we don't,
I just wanted to put that stuff
Yeah, I
on
think
there
that's
so it doesn't
good.
get forgotten about, because
That's a good idea.
I feel that there's a
Sometimes
high
it-
priority.
Yeah.
right, well, right, and those ARPA funds aren't gonna go that much further. I mean, there's not that much left.
Yep.
And the control panel for the lift
Oh,
station?
shoot, yeah, yep.
So that's to do what?
What's that?
The control panel, what does that do? Control, what does it control?
That's all the electronics that control the pumps, the start relays, run relays, all your, there'd be your floats, high level, low level, over temp, things like that.
It controls the lift station,
The whole, yep.
and it communicates to us.
Is the video, is that something that we purchase, or is that like a service that comes in and does
No, I
that?
have, there's a, company that
Okay.
just does it, R&R.
Do they both do both jet and video? Okay.
And you said, Patrick, that that needed to be done in order to really do an analysis of potential future repairs and replacement. That'll help us to understand the status of the
Yeah, 'cause
sewer system.
The last time that we did any videotaping, I have all the VHS tapes downstairs. It's old, really old.
How often is that supposed to be done?
It's basically up to the community.
Yeah, I would like to, I guess if I'm allowed, I would like to just do a portion of the village and just get through the village and then start over again. Split it up into, how many ever years, we can do it 5 or 6, and then just start the cycle over again. I think is probably a good idea. I
And
guess
that's
I would
to-
talk more with Kevin about that and some other communities.
Inspect the inside of it to ensure.
What's that?
Just to inspect the inside of it to ensure that it's,
You're looking for
Falling down,
roots and
or
stuff
roots.
getting
Yeah,
through,
that's-
and we're definitely wanting to look, I definitely would like them to look at 8th Street.
yeah, I mean.
Well,
if-
and
that's the last
that
time.
also gives us a good idea as to what street projects we want
Right.
to do when we televise, so it all kind of goes hand in hand.
Okay.
So there's no industry standards for how often something like that should be done? Because it seems like it's such vital information.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
I mean,
really.
a lot of communities, like Patrick's saying, they take a certain portion of the system and they just budget so much a year, and then they try to get everything done within a 4 or 5 year period. That's what I
Yeah, 'cause on
typically
our,
see.
like our CMOM or whatever that we had done, it's usually you just want a percentage there,
Yep,
and that's what most places do.
yep.
How many water holding ponds need the vegetation attention?
I think quite a few of them.
Yeah,
They're really getting overgrown, and it's to the point now where I'm probably just gonna have to have somebody come in with one of those, they call it like an ag head on a great big skid steer, and it just tears up everything, mulches everything up.
when we had a presentation by, I'm not sure exactly who he was, the architect or something for the proposed development north of Derrick, and his assertion was that there would need to be no maintenance done on the holding ponds. You recall that, Patrick?
And we said baloney.
That's always
Yeah.
a nice thought.
Yeah, you're always gonna have something,
Yeah.
We
definitely.
just wanted to make sure they were responsible for
Correct.
those holding ponds.
Correct.
Because, we're talking Zappas? right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gary's
Yeah.
property, yeah.
Gary's property up there.
So we know already that we've got costs associated with those for the village.
Yeah.
The construction standards that we're using right now, we're using the state standards, is that correct?
For the ponds themselves?
Well,
or-
no, the 8th item, develop construction
Oh,
standards
yes.
for the village using Cedar Core. I
So
mean, we have
basi-
them right now, we have construction standards.
Basically, what the village does now is they adopted the city of Hudson, and now we like to develop just standards for the village, is where that's coming from. So that would be like all sanitary sewer and water main. So like,
Well, it'd
with,
be everything,
yeah,
right?
yeah, storm sewer, all those types of things, streets. So then we could, like with Gary's project, we could turn those over to the developer, and they know specifically,
Yes.
what kind of pipe we want, what kind of hydrants, curb stops, that, all that stuff is spelled out. And that's what that item is.
It seemed like that would have helped too for the Dr. Bartle.
Yeah.
when-
Yep.
What he was
Yep.
trying to do.
Yep.
I wonder about ARPA for something like that, because it's a, it's a planning, it's a
Yeah, and it wasn't a huge,
I don't think it's a huge dollar amount. It's just for me and the other public works guys, it would create a lot less confusion
Sure.
to have our own stuff, our own standards.
That's great. Thank you, Patrick. This is really, really helpful.
So this number 4 on non-capital, does that finally circle the property that we have up there?
Well, I think that's probably, I think we should do that.
Okay, so is that what that's talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
About around the garage, but not around our
No, the
other.
whole thing that we bought.
The whole property.
And then we had also, is there need for fencing around any other areas that would need to go into the budget? Like,
I guess I could ask. I guess.
Riverside?
Possibly. Yeah, there's some old wooden snow fence down, there's a roll that I found.
What color?
It's down by Cozy, or Govs.
we were talking about like a nice, something that looked really nice.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, and it would be just a 4 foot, you can get black or green or,
Yeah, yeah.
whatever,
So,
brown.
okay, so that would go,
I
something
could
like
get an
that could go
estimate
in there.
on that,
Oh, you
probably
did?
from that same guy. I just wrote down the items, I haven't gotten estimates for anything yet, so.
We're a month or two out.
I don't have,
really needing those estimates, so. What we need to work on is the list, and then eventually, as we get closer to budget time, he starts,
Getting them numbers.
So this is kind of a wish list as it
it's a
stands
wish
right
list
now.
for our budget.
Got it.
Starting the process for budget
Yep.
development.
And
Right.
it's good. I mean, what I think the chief does in his budget is he just keeps adding to the list as the year rolls by, and then he's ready when it comes budget time. They know what they want. So that's kind of what I'm trying to help us do, the same thing.
Absolutely.
Keep a running list.
Absolutely.
So
This
when
is
budget
great.
time comes, we don't have to remember stuff we were talking about all year long.
Right, this is really good. How about like crosswalks and sidewalks? Are those under Public Works as well?
Well,
what, like, I
I mean,
guess. what-
repairing sidewalks?
Well, where they,
Were they buckled or something? or-
yeah, or the paint and, I mean, the maintenance, the location. I suppose the location is public safety.
Crosswalks are painted by us, but public safety determines, I assume,
Location.
where they belong, or where they want them.
I don't know.
Like, we're,
Sure.
yeah.
We don't have a process, maybe? I'm thinking
I
of,
think if we get a request, well, we have had a request, right?
Yeah.
Up in Derrick. Did
On
they
Pratley.
ask us for a
On Pratley,
crosswalk up
there
there,
was a
or a
cross-
stop sign or something?
stop sign, right.
So what,
Oh, yeah,
I guess
there
what are you,
was, yeah.
where are you going with it, Mary?
I'm just thinking about the times that I'm getting almost hit by cars and,
At which intersections are
well,
you?
places where sidewalks already, or crosswalks already exist.
Okay.
In some respect, just trying to understand the process.
Well, I mean, I guess that's something we can discuss if there's something, I mean, Chief and I usually work together on that stuff.
Okay.
We painted a little more, put a little more paint on Pratley and 10th, so,
Flashing lights.
yeah, I mean.
Stop.
the beacons.
Yeah, so I guess if you have concerns like that, then just let me know, and
Okay.
I'll try to include that in, when Chief and I have discussions, and if I need to buy more paint, then that's what we'll do.
Okay, that sounds good.
So just, if you want to just shoot me an email or something and give me, if
Yeah, a couple
if you have a list or
locations,
something,
couple
I guess,
locations.
just let me know, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
We've had at least one person ask us about a couple of lights that are out in Derek's project that are our responsibility, based on time. And Patrick has gone up and looked, which means he has to go after dark up there to look. And I think I asked the resident the other day, I said, could you put tie a yellow ribbon around those poles so we make sure we're looking at the same thing? And he has sent me pictures.
So they're out? They don't work?
Yeah,
you mean?
he's saying they're out.
Okay.
Patrick found one that he has ordered parts for, and it takes a while to get these parts, so we're still waiting on parts. But we haven't been able to locate this second one that the neighbor says is out, and we've gone up and looked, and we see it on. So I had he chalk marked the poles so we can see which
Oh,
pole
okay.
we're talking about.
I'll go up there tonight.
And I just sent that to Patrick, just so you know.
Okay.
So it was kind of him to let us know, because Public Works isn't out at night.
Right.
We probably should engage Chief on letting us know if his nighttime patrol
Sergeant
guys the
emails
sergeant.
me.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay, great,
yep. He's actually really good about that, so.
great.
Yeah, it's a safety issue for sure.
Yep. Well, streetlights aren't a safety, they aren't designed, if you talk to Chief, they're not designed for
Safety.
safety. They're designed to light up the roadway. That's what XL has said. So I know people call and want us to put a street light in here or put a street light in there for safety, but what Chief has always told me is that those are for lighting the roadway. If you're looking for something for safety, then turn your lights on your garage or whatever it may be and light up things. So that was kind of his take on it.
He's never believed that the streetlights are out there for safety purposes. I mean, for walkers, if you will. Or bicycles, or whatever. They're for the cars to be able to see the street, and yet the cars have lights on them, so.
They do.
They're supposed
There,
to.
yes.
All right, anything else on
Right.
capital or equipment, current, future budgeting? All right, that takes us to future agenda items, and I added the demo. I don't know if, Kevin, do you have a laptop that,
I have.
Yeah.
there's one of you guys? Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody
We
does.
can- Yep, definitely.
Any other future agenda items?
Snowplow contracts.
Snowplow contract?
Ooh,
Yep. That's a big one.
That's for this spring season? 22,
Yeah, it'll be the end of 22 and 23.
Okay, anything else? Any other business? Any other business? If not, we are adjourned at 6:17 PM. Thank you very much.